Hi everyone, this is me Vidhi Jain. Welcome back to my channel. We were studying this chapter called The Nature and Significance of Business, which is the first chapter of class 12th CBSE Business Studies. And we have been doing this chapter since so long. Finally, this is the last video, the last explanation video of this chapter. We might have more case study videos and all coming up for this chapter, but as of now, the video explanation would end here with today being the last video, that is part 6. And in today's video, we will be studying the topic meaning of coordination, characteristics, and importance of coordination. In the previous videos, we have covered a lot till the nature of management, objective, significance, and whatever topics were given. There is just this one topic called the functions of management. We are not covering it here in chapter 1 because it's the same thing that we'll be studying in the entire book to come. So, after levels of management, therefore, we've directly jumped up today here to the coordination. So, let's begin. Okay, so coordination is not a term which is very new to all of us. It is something that we keep hearing. Whenever we do any group projects or anything, we tell our teammates, okay, that let's guys please coordinate and let's make it a success and all of these things. So, coordination is a word we've been quite familiar with. What does it mean here in management? Is it different? It's kind of similar only. So, management is a process here by which the manager synchronizes the activities of different departments. Now, synchronizes basically means how to bring a parity between the work that is being done by different departments. Now, try to understand it this way. There are many departments in an organization. We have production department, finance, HR, marketing, all of these departments. Now, generally, all these departments have their own goals also. For example, the HR department would have a goal to conduct the big data analysis for the employees in the organization, or to increase the salaries of the people working in the organization. Similarly, the production department has its own goals that it has to increase the production by, let's say, 20%, 30%, and so on. Now, what sometimes happens is that every department is working so much for themselves only that they kind of get into a dispute with the other department. They might not be on good terms with the other department. For example, the production department wants to increase the production. It wants to install a new machine, and to get that machine, it's saying the finance department that please allot us funds so that we can purchase the new machine. But now the finance department is saying that already the company is going into losses, and it's not good that we spend a lot of other money onto things which are not necessary right now. So now this is a situation where both of them get into a conflict, get into a dispute, and now it's the turn of the manager here that whatever work is being done in different departments, it needs to synchronize them so that the final objective of the organization can be achieved without any delay. So it says that coordination is an implicit and inherent function of the organization. Now, implicit and inherent here means that it is a deemed function. It has to be performed anyways. Nobody will go to the manager and tell him or her that, see, you need to do coordination. It is something very implicit, very much self explanatory to the manager himself, that he has to or she has to coordinate between the various departments so that there is no compromise on achieving the goals. It is also the process, you can also use this definition, that it is a process by which managers ensure orderly arrangement of individuals and group efforts to ensure the unity of action. So it's the same thing, only that you are bringing a parity between the individual efforts and the group efforts of the organization. So there are people who are working individually and then the groups. Both their efforts should be lined in such a way that the ultimate goal of the organization is achieved without any problem. And once we start coordinating activities, once the operations are coordinated, everything is coordinated now, so things start becoming perfect. When we say perfect, we mean that the desired quality is achieved. So let's say the production department and finance department coordinate with each other, and they come on a similar basis, then the quality of the product would be what the consumers and what the company itself desires. There'll be proper time allocation. There wouldn't be any haphazard of any schedules or anything, and funds and everything would be properly available. So coordination is really important, therefore. Now let's talk a little bit about its characteristics. few of its characteristics are going to be similar to what we've done in the characteristics of management. So you can use them also, and therefore I'll be doing them a bit quickly. The first characteristic is that coordination integrates the group efforts. So, this is something that we've just now studied in the definition also. Now, when we say group efforts over here, we are referring that people in the organization, they are different, they are working in a group. Each one of them is unique, they are working in their groups, and each group has its own objectives, but ultimately they have to work towards the common objective of the organization. So the manager must ensure that these groups are going into the same direction. They are working ultimately for the organization's objective only. They need to be brought on a same track. The next characteristic is that coordination ensures unity of action. So basically, whenever coordination is done, whenever people are brought on same page, when they know what the other person is doing, it brings a sort of unity. So be it individuals, be it groups, they know what work they have to do, they know what work the other person has to do. So a sense of unity comes in, which helps them to achieve the organization goals in the end. The third and fourth points both are very similar to what we've done in management also. So it says that coordination is a continuous process. And even there, we said that management is a continuous process. So let's talk here in terms of coordination. Now, coordination has to be done continuously without any fail in the organization. Every now and then, even if the manager is feeling that things are going all right, he still has to do them, and it has to be done. The coordination between various departments, officers, everyone and everything in the organization, whenever work is being done, coordination has to be done so that there are no conflicts, there are no disputes, and everyone knows in which direction they have to work. At least they are not like one department is working for one objective, the other one for the other, and in the end the objective of the organization is not achieved. That is not a great situation, right? So coordination has to be done continuously. Then we say that coordination is an all pervasive function. Pervasive means being present everywhere. And we say that coordination has to be present everywhere, be it any department, be it any organization, any institution. Even within an organization, coordination is required at every level of management, be it top level, middle level, lower level. All the levels of management also need to coordinate amongst themselves, that what work is being done, how is it being done, is there any problem, are we actually working towards achieving the goals of our organization or not. So it's an all pervasive function required everywhere. It's not just the work of top level people only. Even if it's at the workforce level now, even their coordination is required highly. The next characteristic of coordination is that coordination is the responsibility of managers. Now, generally, we say that people themselves should also coordinate, but in an organization, the coordination duties of the manager. The manager has to ensure that all the departments, or basically the department which he or she is heading, there is proper coordination between the people who are working in that department, and also his department coordinates with the other departments regularly, so that there are no disputes and there are no haphazards or issues being created. Also, the manager can be at any level. She has to perform the coordination function at their levels. Then we say that coordination is a deliberate function. When we say deliberate function, so we mean that along with it being an inherent and implicit function, the manager has to perform it deliberately. Even if things seem to be very good, and even if the situation seem to be very quiet and very perfect, still the manager has to initiate that the coordination is being done, that both the departments or each side of the coin knows what exactly is happening in the organization. All of them are on the same page. This was all about the characteristics of coordination. They are very simple and very similar to what we've been studying in this entire chapter. Now let's move on to the importance of coordination. Now, generally, the importance points are also very similar to the features or the characteristics point. But here the importance of coordination is completely different. It has 3 points, and all three of them require proper explanations. So Please put your attention over here. First of all, we have growth in size. So basically, when a business initially begins, it has less number of employees. The work that is being done is also very less. Initially, when there are startups or entrepreneurs who have their own, selfpreneurs and entrepreneurs, when they begin with the work that they do, it's initially only 2 to 3 people or hardly 4 5 people who are working with them. But at that level where there are only 4 5 people, when the work is so less, the coordination need is also very less. I mean, when 4 or 5 people are working, they would definitely sit together and work, so there's no chances of disputes and everything being arise, that what is happening, what the other person is doing, I don't know, what I am doing, the other person doesn't know. These kinds of situations are very far away when it when we talk about the initial stages of a business. But as and when the firm expands, whenever more people start coming into the organization, the number of employees, when it starts increasing, so now everything increases. Whenever a firm starts growing or expanding itself, first of all, the operations would also increase, their revenues, their profits, their cost, everything is going to increase. And now you definitely need coordination, because the need of coordination also arises. When you have more people, more employees than your past, now you will have to make departments, and when you have departments, you definitely need coordination. So in this point of importance, we say that as and when there's a growth in size, the need for coordination also arises, because now there are more number of people, more number of components with whom we are dealing, and the need for harmonization between them, or that synchronization, if I have to talk about in definition terms, this thing arises, and therefore you need to coordinate a little more. The next point of importance is functional differentiation. Here we'll talk about the departments only. So now see, there are various functions performed in an organization, and just for the ease purposes, we divide this work being done by them into departments. So like I already also told, that there is marketing department, there is human resource department, then you have the production department, finance department. Generally, these four departments are the ones which are there in every organization. The four departments, now each department will have its own objective, its own goals, its own way of working, their own schedules, everything. But we have to ensure that they're working in such a way that the organization's goal is achieved. And therefore here we require coordination, that the finance department, production department, all the departments have to once in a week, or once in 15 days, have to sit together and talk, that this is how I am operating, this is how you are operating, we need to find another way so that the organization's goal is achieved. So this functional differentiation thing which comes, that we are dividing people on the basis of the functions they are performing, the need of coordination also increases even more. So we require coordination. Coordination is very much important whenever the term functional differentiation comes in, or whenever we have more departments and more people working with us. Finally, specialization. So whenever specialization enters into an organization, the importance or the need of coordination rises. Why does that happen? So see, initially when again a business starts, now all the work is being done by the 2 3 or 4 people who have begun with the organization, or they are the ones who are doing all the work, be it handling the accounts, be it handling the mails that are done, and everything. But as and when the business expands, you require specialization. So initially, any person who knows a little bit of accounts handles all the accounts work. But now, when you know that the sales, profits, everything is rising, and you need to maintain cash flows and balance sheets, and you need to do a lot of cost accounting and everything now, then what happens is that you require specialized people. So now you would require a proper person who has done a proper course in accounts, who can handle your finance department. Now what happens is that when these specialists come into an organization, they have a different way of working as compared to the other people, as compared to the people who were working initially. Now they might have a dispute, the specialist and the old person, they might enter into a dispute. The specialist might suggest one way, and the person who till now was doing the work might suggest another way. Now to handle these kinds of disputes, coordination is very much required between these two people, because both of them need to understand and come on the same page so that the work is not hampered. Because many times it happens that people enter into disputes and then the total work of the organization gets hampered, which is not a good sign, obviously. So this was all about the importance of coordination, and now I can also see that this was all about the chapter called the nature and significance of business. We've given a lot of time to this chapter. I hope that you are clear with every single part of this chapter uh, through the video explanations. There are total 6 parts of this entire chapter, and you'll find the link of all the previous videos in the description box. The videos are not very long, you can just go and watch them and have fun as well. And thanks for reaching till here. I'll see you next time with another video on the next chapter. And until then, happy learning and do not forget to subscribe. Bye.